Let's go on to the next speaker. And if we talk about asset management, investment management, management investments, we will probably think about the city in London or probably the Wall Street, of course. But you won't think of Varberg, which is a bit of a shame because here we have Simplicity, which is a Swedish company founded in 2002, and they managed 23, let me see if I read it correctly, yes, 23 billion Swedish crowns in 8 different funds. That's more than anything, though, they invest in the sustainable business because, as they say, we want to create value without destroying the world. And here to talk about that, and there are other things, of course, is Henrik Tingstorp. He's the Deputy CEO and partner at Simplicity, and he's here right now.
Thank you very much.
Henrik, välkommen, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that introduction. Actually, it's 26 billion.
Of course, yeah. That was yesterday. I got this yesterday. Sorry.
Yeah, true. Thank you very much, BV Simbra. We are really, really proud to be here at your conference to be a speaker. And before I start, I spoke to Christian Becken here. All of you know Christian when we were having lunch, and he said that all this in the financial industry is just greenwashing. So with this, I start my presentation, and thank you very much for that. I was also a little bit challenged by 15 minutes with this big topic. But when I heard your first presentation from Trio Plus, it's not a problem. I just speak fast, and I increase the time with Patrick. Yeah. So a little bit about the company and myself. I'm from Örebro. It's one of the most beautiful cities in Sweden. It's in the middle of Sweden. Have nothing beautiful except from a castle. I started my career as auditor, accountant at KPMG. It was not that I wanted to be, but I know that it was a good education for me to get to know balance sheets and income statements, which I love. Second of all, I was at a hedge fund in Stockholm, Brummer & Partners, and I joined Simplicity in 2005. So I've been here for 14 years and manage our fixed income funds. It's free of kind. Today we are an independent asset management company based in Varberg. We have a small office in Stockholm with 2 employees. We have 26 billion. It's a lot of money for us, but it's only 0.5% of the Swedish fund industry. It's 4,700 billion Swedish kronor, so it's quite a large one. I think our purpose is to be like a big union with the cash that we allocate to companies. We need to do that with respect and also in a good way. Today we are 17 people working at us, and it's our 17 people working with us that will create the success in the company, because they are the one that creating the value. Today we have 5 equity funds, 3 corporate bond funds, and we have also invested in BV Simbra. Today I will speak about sustainability, and the industry is not really good at sustainability. We are late adapters in the financial industry, but we're getting there, and we're getting there really fast. If we have the history of the company, we started before the financial crisis was a lot in equities. We have a lot of equities in the emerging markets, in the Nordics as well. But in 2006, I started the short money market fund at Simplicity. And after that, it was more focused on risk. And what we do at Simplicity, we have getting, the last years, we're getting a lot of awards, the best fixed income house, and also the best Nordic equity house. And when we got the fixed income house, it's created in Varberg on the 3rd floor behind a pingis board, a pingis table. So that's really, really good. We have 2 offices there, me and Fabian.
I love pingis board. I like
oh,
that.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was great, yeah.
Sorry about that. And these awards are important for us as being a small asset management company as well, because it's mostly of the companies are based in Stockholm, as we said before. Here is our CEO. He's really, really happy when he received the prize. But we also get a really important prize here locally in Varberg, where we got the Company of the Year. That was most celebrated prize we ever get. But what we did in the beginning with sustainability was that we, for a couple of years, we started to investigate our business model. And in our business model, we have included the word sustainability. So we offer investors in Sweden international competitive and sustainable investment opportunities in both equity and fixed income funds. And that we do with a high difference of risk levels and strong focus on risk-adjusted returns. So why we use this word in our business model is just that we really would like to work with that and get a culture in the company. So that's important. Our product offering is in Sweden, of course. We are in the Nordics and also global perspective on our funds. The performance so far has been really, really easy this year because everything is going up right now, and then we don't have that much to do. Last year it was a little bit more challenging, but we're mainly better when it's more challenging than everything is really, really good. But if I get into the topics, the first thing we did at Simplicity was that we signed the UNPRI. That's one of the regulations, a signature list where we have signed that we need to integrate sustainability in all our investment in the analysis of the companies. We are also a member of SWESIF. It's a Swedish organization where you can compare different funds, which is what they do in this topic. But we also need to coverage and monitoring all our investment, and there we need to use a data provider called Sustainalytics. Maybe a few of you have used them, but we're just increasing our business with them because we need a lot of information from the companies that we invest in. We also use positive and negative screening. I will get into that later on, and also on the SDGs, which I think you heard about. One thing that we also like to do is we like to influence rather than abandon our investments. So if we have an alert or some company that have done something really, really bad, we like to push them to get to a better company. But sometimes we need to leave them, even though we like to be there. We are better to have a dialogue with smaller companies than with larger companies, just because when we are a small investor, we are a big investor in small companies, but we are a small investor in a large company, and there we need to pool ourselves. But for the smaller companies, there we are really, really close to them, and we can affect them to a better world. What we also did, the last sentence was that we started an internal sustainability committee internal at Simplicity. And why we did that was just to create a culture in the company. Everybody should work with sustainability. It's not just one person, it's from the asset management to the back office. And therefore we have ideas from every employees to increase our way to do that. And that will be our success going forward. So in this committee we have all the managers. And I think sustainability in the financial industry start with the managers. There we can affect the most. But if we speak about the negative screening, it's just excluding a few sectors. We spoke about that a little bit earlier, but at Simplicity we exclude 6 different sectors. It's weapon, alcohol, tobacco, gambling, pornography, oil, coal, and gas. And the last improvement we did was that we excluded the whole industry of oil, coal, and gas. But we cannot just exclude all our sectors, we also need to include, and that we call positive screening. And this was what Christian told me about greenwashing in the financial industry. I don't think it is like that, because it's for a good purpose. it's for a good way that the companies need to work harder to inform the public to what they do, and also we have an incentive to be better in this topic. What we have done for in green bonds and social bonds, and we also have a limit that we will invest 5% at least in each fund in green or social bonds. Nobina, for example, is a bus company that have issued a green bond that should electrifying their bus park. Castellum is a real estate company, one of the few on the sustainability index in the Nordics that are on the Dow Jones. So they are really, really good and have in their business idea that it's important for the future going forward in real estate. Millicom is the social bond. It's a little bit more difficult to explain, but Millicom has issued a bond that they are a teleoperator in South America. They will educate all the people there in mobility and also be better on information. The last company here is a Finnish company, which is Y Foundation. They had issued a bond that are for homeless. They only rent apartments to homeless, so work really, really close to government and the municipalities. So these four companies do contribute to sustainable development that we think is really good. And on the last sentence here, I also could have added Vattenfall, where if we don't invest in fossil fuels, we need to invest in energy in some way, and that we do in utility sector. So, and the utility sector is more into getting this transformation to fossil-free energy than the oil sector in general. And short about the sustainability development goals. When I third got this on my table, I thought it was really difficult to get which goals should we focus on. And what we focused on 7, 9, 11, and 13. And also this way we looked at where do we have our investments. Right now we have a lot of investment in energy. Then the clean energy for affordable and clean energy for everybody was really easy for us to choose. The second one, the 9, is in the industry, innovation, in infrastructure. There we also have a lot of investments, so it was also easy to choose. The 11 is close to the climate, of course, where we have all the sustainable cities and the real estate companies, and we have quite a few investment in real estate as well. And they are the second derivatives of the utility sector because of heating and so on. But we also need to be on partnership and commitment and global commitments, and we need to collaborate with others when we do that. The last thing is, this is a summary of what we do. We do the norm-based screening with UN Global Impact and Compact, but we also do the screening and monitoring ourselves. And the last thing we do is that we do an own ESG analyze in our company, but we also buy information, of course. But to do it yourself, then you do it in a better way, and you do it for real. Because if we don't do it for real, then we just have it as a paperwork. So we need to have it in investment. We can live with it, and we need to create value together with the companies. That's so important. So the dialogue we will continue to do, but you can see that it's taking a lot of time, and we're a small firm, only 17 people. So this will be really, really difficult for us to achieve, to help the companies that we invest in. Also, I should add the committee is also important for us to get this culture, the culture in the company, just to get it, so everybody to work with it and be better. So we're trying to do that all the day, every day, to try to be better in this topic. But all of this, of course, we need a lot of reporting. And just to sign the UNPRI agreement, you need to report a list of 200 pages to UNPRI, what we do in each investment that we do. And but we were 4 people of 17 doing this reporting. But why we were so many was just because in this report we can be better. So everything we get we get a rating from them, how good we are. And if we can see what we can be better in, that we can improve the business and improve also our investment way in sustainability. So therefore, I believe I have spoken 50 minutes, and thank you very much for letting me speak.
Tack så mycket. Thank you, Henrik.